Hey, this is your boy Speedy G here from FG Appliance Repair. I'm here to give you a few tips on which washer to buy. Front load, top load. I've had a few customers talk to me about which one they wanted to buy, which one was the best. Now they're coming out with the front load wash machines. They're HE, which means high efficiency. It definitely, innovative. They've been out for a while, but I see a lot of customers using it. And now, like I said, some customers, they have the over-the-top wash machine, looking for information on how to go about which one to buy. Should they buy the one that they're used to, the one that over the top one, which are a little bit more cheaper, but compared to the HE wash machine. So I took a few notes. I told a few customers I was gonna make the video, and so here it is, man. Your boy Speedy G is here. So we are gonna go through a few notes here. I'm just gonna be looking down for a little bit, just compare my notes, okay? Now, the difference between the two wash machines. Let's talk about wear and tear on the clothing. Okay, now the top load wash machine, they are over the top, obviously, which have a kind of like a circular motion when they wash. When it does that, there's that middle piece there, it's what's called the agitator. That thing moves back and forth. It's pretty good, it's good, it's innovative, but there'll be times where the clothes get stuck, maybe sometimes at the bottom, sometimes that thing gets loose, sometimes the drum gets loose because it's not bolted in right. Over the years you're using it, you put too much you're putting too much clothes in there, and pretty much things starts to get loose. Well, basically the clothes start to get underneath that agitator, start to wear and tear. So when you ever see that, if you have clothes maybe have some dark spots, some stains, kind of like some oily stains, that just goes to tell you that that agitator is loose and your clothes are getting stuck underneath. So you may want to consider that, okay, when you're buying the top loader. Now, compared to the HE front loader, let's see the washing action with that. Now, with that one, they're pretty good. They, as you can tell right off the back when when you use it. I mean, you can't tell when you buy it, but it uses considerably less water. All right, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But the wash action on that is, it just tumbles it like a dryer. So picks it up, throws it out, picks it up, throws it out, and it doesn't use that much water, but it does get the job done. Okay, it's something to consider, okay, when you get the circular motion compared to the tumbling action wash motion, okay? Now let's get to the next topic, which we talked about before when I was explaining. Let's talk about the water use, okay? Obviously, the top loader uses way much water, a lot of water, I was gonna give you like a measurement, but it's a lot of water. And the HE1 front loader doesn't use a lot, all right? So you save a lot on, on energy, on water consumption with the HE, with the HE wash machine. So definitely want to consider that when buying that, okay? Let's go to the next topic here. Detergent use. Okay, this is where you're gonna save your money at. All right, now with the top load wash machine, your standard ones, you're gonna have to put. You don't have to, but a lot of people tend to put maybe a big cup in there, and definitely gets the job done. Sometimes you may, if it doesn't, you may have to pre-treat your clothes. Put the detergent, which means that you're gonna put the detergent right on the clothes and put it in, and then put detergent in, if it's really dirty. So that's what you get with that. You can put as much soap as you want, won't damage the machine. Now let's talk about the HE machines. Now this is where you're gonna save your money at. Since it doesn't use that much water, and the cleaning action of it, which is a tumbling action, you don't need to use a lot of soap. All right, now with these HE wash machines, you have to buy the HE soap that goes with it. Now there's all type of brands that make HE soap. I'm talking about everything from Tide to Drift. You know, sometimes, you know, you buy the baby detergent. You know, sometimes babies are, you know, they definitely need a certain type of soap. So, you know, you definitely want to be careful with that. But everybody makes HE soap now. You know, the front load wash machines are definitely dominating out there. And like I said, you know, when you use that type of wash machine, you know, a lot of people tend to use it like an over-the-top wash machine. You know, you definitely save a lot of money there. You know, a lot of people don't know that, but they learn the hard way. You know, when you're using a front load wash machine, you're supposed to use 1 tablespoon of liquid. All right, you can go a little, maybe a tablespoon and a half, and 2 tablespoons of powder, and that's it. That's all you have to use. Okay, that's very little. So you can buy a bottle and it can last you a long time. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people treat it like an over-the-top one, like we talked about, and you know, they'll fill the whole cup up, put it in there, and then they say, hey, you know, let it run for a little bit, and they'll notice that, you know, that washing machine is running a long time. Well, you know what? That washing machine senses that there's a lot of suds in there. It's rinsing all the time. And what happens is that the clothes come out wet. It's just a big problem. So you definitely have to read your manual when it comes to using soap. But definitely, you know, 1 tablespoon of liquid. You can maybe go a tablespoon and a half, you know, and 2 tablespoons of powder, and that's it. You know, you'll know that that soap will last you a long time. So it's going to save you money at the long run. Let's go to the next comparison when you do energy use. All right, very important. A lot of people own homes. They want to save energy. Like I said, you know, there's not a lot of water being used inside of the front load wash machines. You know, and plus, you don't have to heat as much water as you do when you use a top loader. Now, what do you mean, you know, heat it up? Well, when you get hot water from the tap, obviously, you know, the furnace, the boiler is burning, you know, just to heat that water up. Now, if you don't use that much, that means you don't burn that much. So you definitely want to take, you know, consideration to that as well. You know, or my own homeowners, everybody that actually pays for their own water. You know, you definitely want to take that into consideration. Let's talk about something else that I got here, which is comfort in loading. You know, now we know the over-the-top one's a little bit more comfortable. That's the only plus, probably, you know, because you know, the over-the-top, you just reach down and get the clothes, and that's it. But with the front loader, obviously, you're gonna have to bend down. You have to open the door, bend down, reach in there. You know, sometimes you're gonna have to buy something that stacks on, you know, so the wash machine could be leveled up. They do on front load wash machines. They do have drawers that you can place the wash machine on top of, and that can be used as a you know, where you can put the containers, the detergent, and all that other stuff. Let's move on to the next. Okay, let's talk about adding clothes to the laundry. The difference between a top loader and a front loader. Now, obviously, the top loader is going to be a lot more easier. You know, you can actually just open the top, say if little Timmy or little John, getting turned up. Say if little Jimmy or little John or whoever forgets their clothes, socks, you know, pants, whatever, shorts, they forgot it was under the bed, and you can easily, you know, obviously pick that up, open up the wash machine from the top loader, put it in, add it up, no problem. A lot of the top loaders, I must say, are starting to lock. Not all, but I've seen some. I've been to customers' houses where they have some of them that just kind of lock. Some of the older ones, I haven't seen a newer one that locks. Not yet. I know Frigidaire and Electrolux used to make it back then, but I haven't seen it in a while, so on the top loaders. But obviously it's a lot easier, you know, adding in clothes. Compared to the front loaders now. let's talk about the front loader, the HE front loaders. Now, with those, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because if you miss the boat's gonna leave. It's not gonna come back. What are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about, you know, you add clothes in, you put the soap in, you know, you start it up and it's going, and you're like, okay, all right, well, you know, and I'm just gonna, you know, just gonna walk away, do other chores or whatever you're doing on the phone, Facebooking, you know, whatever, and you see something like, wow, you know what, this is supposed to go in there. Well, it's kind of too late. Once it starts, that's it. You can't add clothes in. It's gonna lock, it's gonna add water, and it's gonna stay locked to the end of the cycle. Why is that? Well, since it's a front loader, you know, now the water's kind of laying down. So whenever the tumbling action happens, you know, obviously the water's gonna splash into the front of the window. So if the door was to, you know, open and close, obviously, you know, the water rises, and somebody accidentally opens the door. Well, you know what? You got a whole bunch of water on the floor. You have water, if you know, on your feet if you're standing right in front of it, and it's just going to be a big mess. So with front loaders, it's not going to be as easy to load clothes as a top loader. Okay. Now the next thing is you may want to consider is, you know, space. All right. Now with the top loader, you know, you have to make space for it. You know, you have to make a lot of space. So, you know, you may want to think about that as well. You know, these top loaders, you know, sometimes they do come small. Sometimes they come portable. You know, you go to these like, you know, these stores, you see them, you know, little ones, whatever, they work pretty well. You know, don't overstuff them, you know, those little ones. But sometimes you got to make a lot of space for it. So you definitely got to plan that out and think about that. And as far as the front loaders now, that's the good thing about the front loaders. You know, you can actually stack them. All right, which means that you can take the dryer to that front loader, same brand, you know, the side by side, you know, they're brother and sisters, they go together, you can't mix and match. Okay, you buy the wash machine, you have to buy the dryer for that. All right, they do have stack kits for it. So if you want to buy a dryer for your wash machine and you want to stack it, you're more than welcome to. They have stack kits for it. Ask the guy when you go buy it, you know, to you know, see if there's a stack kit available. Okay, and man, it's a great space saver, especially the high efficiency with the condensation dryers. If you guys never heard about the condensation dryers before, let's talk about that real quick. What it is a dryer, does the same thing, but it takes the heat, condenses it into water, and then pumps it out like a wash machine. So you may want to consider that. Those are smaller, they just stick right in the closet. You don't have to, you know, get a contract out, bust any walls down, anything like that. Very convenient. You just put a drain line to the dryer, stick it right in the drain line, same drain line as the wash machine, and watch it go. All right, there are you know, ways you got to maintain that though. So you definitely want to read that, you know, that book that you get, you know, that little instruction book, the how-to book. You definitely want to read that. All right. So space utilization, and you know, a difference is the last difference we're going to talk about here. You know, after we talk about the space saver, which I think, you know, we're going to put a big check to the HE. There are the full load HE ones. There are those. You know, and you're gonna have to make space for those too, but the smaller ones, they work really good. And even the full load ones, you know, even though they are full load, you can stack those. You know, that door opens up from the front. You know, it doesn't open up from the top. You can put a full-size dryer on top of that front loader. Doesn't have just because it's small. You know, just because it's not small, you can't stack it. I mean, you can put a nice full-size dryer on top of it. You know, you just gotta make sure that it's stacked right, it's done by the right person, and you know, he's qualified to do it. You know, don't just get you know, just anybody, you know, ching fing ching flang, you know, and have him hook it up for you. Make sure he knows how to do it. And also, when you get it's the most important tip I'm gonna give you. When you do if you decide to get a being very rude. If you decide to get a front loader, you know, make sure when they deliver it that they take the shipping pins off of it. All right. A lot of times I went to a lot of customers' houses, or I went under warranty, you know, from the manufacturer, which means that the person that made the, you know, the appliance, you know, under warranty, telling me, hey, you know, the customer's complaining that the, you know, she puts in a load and at the end of the cycle the thing's moving, you know, it's a monster, you know, that thing's walking out the closet, it's banging against the closet. Well, you know, usually there are 2 to 4 shipping pins in the back of the washing machine. All right, when the guy delivers it and hooks it up, you got to make sure that that shipping pin comes off. Now, what do they put that there for? Now, since the front load washing machine is you know, has suspensions on it, has springs, they put those pins there so when, you know, during delivery, that drum doesn't wobble all over the place. So they put the pins on there. All right, so you definitely want to take those pins out once you know, you have it in place. You decide where you want to go with it, how you're going to stack it. Make sure he takes those shipping pins out so, you know, once you start it, that thing doesn't walk like a monster, or just, you know, because listen, if you leave, you know, a lot of people like to leave appliances on and just walk out the house. Listen, I never recommend somebody run an appliance and then walk out the house. All right, because if something happens, you're not there to stop it. All right, and so, you know, you better have some good insurance because they're coming for you. All right, I've seen a lot of customers tell me that, you know, oh yeah, you know, I just went out for, you know, a few seconds, come back and there's water everywhere. You know, and in a matter of 2-3 minutes, you know, you could flood 3 floors. All right, so let's be smart about it, okay? Make sure that when you use your appliances, make sure that you know, you're home and you have a, you know, you have a day to plan in your home, okay? Unless you got a maid or something like that, you can go wherever, and that's her responsibility. But it's definitely, if it's your responsibility, then make sure you're responsible and stay there and watch it. You know, just in case anything happens, you could press the stop button or unplug it or do something before things get crazy. So that's your boy Speedy G here for your washer, you know, front load, top load comparison tip of the day. Any other questions, give me a call. The number is 646-513-1048. Speedy G, FG Appliance Repair. If you need any repairs, we're here as well. Once again, the number is 646-513-1048. We're here, Speedy G, FG Appliance Repair. Let's go. Let's do it.